Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kieran from Red Devil Weekly, and we are back. We are back live on the channel, and I'm very, very happy to say that. Trust me, it's been a long time. It's been too long, and I feel like I've said that before. So I'm not even gonna, as I said in my first video back, I'm not even gonna make any excuses. I'm not even gonna go through any of that. I'm just happy that I'm back. I'm happy to see you guys. So. Appreciate everyone who has joined, because I wouldn't have blamed you if you didn't know we were live today. So thank you so much for joining. Appreciate it. And this won't be a long stream. This is kind of almost more of a live video, but I will be interacting with any of you guys in the comments. So please do get your comments in. I'll probably be live up until around the Champions League games kick off at 8 o'clock. So we'll be whizzing through stuff. We'll be whizzing through things. But as I said, if you're watching live, please do let me know your thoughts in the live channel. Interact with you guys as usual. As I can already see people joining. Rich, thanks for joining. Really appreciate it. As always, make sure you check out Rich's channel if you haven't already. If you haven't already, what are you doing? That's what I'm going to say. But if you haven't already, make sure you do check out Rich Sports. Brilliant content on there. I know. I can't believe it myself. I really can't believe it. But we're here 3 months since the last live stream, and somehow I've managed to get it all back up and running. Let's see how long we last, eh? Let's see how long we last. TRXNN's MUFC, thanks for joining. I appreciate it. Long time no see to you, my friend. I'm so glad to see you. Box as well. Hope you're doing well. So glad to see all of you tuning in. And I said, I didn't expect people to really turn up, and I kind of thought my channel, wasn't going to send out notifications and things like that, but I'm so glad that you guys are here. And as I said, we're going to whip through the Omnia preview. I'm not even sure if I'm pronouncing that right, because I looked at the spelling, and I didn't think I was pronouncing it right, but obviously I'm just going to keep calling it Omnia, and if it is wrong, please do correct me. Issa, thanks for joining, Issa. Appreciate it. Hope you're doing well. He says, congrats on graduating, man. Good to see the return of the vids. Congratulations to you as well, my friend. What a guy. What a guy. Issa, what a man. And thank you very much. I really appreciate the congratulations. Onwards and upwards from here, hopefully. Onwards and upwards from here. Yeah. Box says the last live stream you did was when Solskjaer was still in charge. I don't know. I actually don't know. It might have been. I think maybe it was Rangnick. I think it was just about Rangnick. But I think the last live stream I did was United versus Norwich. So not too far off. Not too far off. But Prakash as well, thanks for joining. Appreciate it. Easy win for United. I like that confidence, Prakash. I do like that confidence. So yeah, let's get into the preview now, because that's what you guys have come to see. You haven't just come to see me, I'm sure. But let's just get into the preview, and let's just talk about, first and foremost, last week's game. Now, it was a bit closer than I think a lot of us expected. I think a lot of us expected it to be a little bit hostile to begin with. Obviously, Omnia welcoming Manchester United, it was always going to be a big event in those parts. But I think a lot of us did naively expect it to be a very simple night for Manchester United. But credit to Omnia, they absolutely stuck it on us in the first half. Obviously scoring that goal against the run of play, but they defended pretty solidly in that first half. We struggled quite a lot. And they absolutely deserved to go in 1-0 up. Obviously, Ronaldo scored the penalty, which made it 1-1 at half-time, I think. But was that even right? No, he didn't. Sorry, that was against Sheriff. Ronaldo scored that penalty. So actually, yeah, we went in 1-0 down at half-time, and a lot of thinking had to be done. But obviously, Rashford and Martial came off the bench and did the business for us. They got one back, but luckily we held on in the end and got the 3 points and got the hell out of there. As I said, that's testament to Omnia and testament to how they played. This time around, I'm hoping it's going to be a bit more of a calm night, a bit more of an easy ride. As I said, you can't write anyone off, especially when Manchester United are the opposition team involved. You cannot write anyone off. But, I think we do need to look at resting and rotating players, because we do have a busy schedule of Premier League action coming up. I think next week maybe we've got a midweek game. Obviously we've got Newcastle on the weekend, and then we've got Chelsea and Spurs. So it's going to be quite a packed run of fixtures, and I think we need to look at resting and rotating players, or at least you could potentially look at it from the angle of play our strongest 11 and then start to take people off? Let me know what you guys think in the comments about that. But obviously, anyone that was tuning into the very start of the stream, I did have my predicted lineup on the screen, and I'm going to put it on now, so you guys can see it. And I want you guys as well to leave your predicted lineups in the comments as well. So I'll go through a few of the comments. Niall, thanks for joining, Niall. Appreciate it. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Hope you're doing good. And Rich says, we often shout out your channel at the end of podcasts when no one's on. Oh, well, there you go. I'm still alive and well then. I'm still alive and well. Appreciate that. Appreciate you keeping the channel alive, because I certainly wasn't. Someone had to keep the channel alive, so appreciate that. But yeah, get your thoughts in. Who are your preferred starting 11? Let me know, because I want to hear what you guys have to say, because that's my starting 11. De Gea, Malacia, Lindelof, Martinez, Dalot, Fred, Casemiro, Fernandes, Anthony, Sancho, and Rashford. I think I spelled Anthony wrong there. I think there's no H in Anthony, but we move. For me, this is my predicted lineup. This is not necessarily the lineup that I would pick myself, but this is the predicted lineup I think Erik Ten Hag is going to go with. And, for me, I think he will go with a fairly strong lineup to begin with and then look to take players off. As I said, we have to be careful and be clever about how we rest and rotate players, or if we rest and rotate players, because whilst we actually do want to get the result, and obviously 3 points in the group would take us to 9 points from 4 games and essentially give us Europa League qualification, or at least put Europa League qualification in our own hands. And the 2 fixtures we've got left is home to Sheriff and away to Real Sociedad. So it would almost put it in our hands in some way. But in my opinion, we need to get the points, but we also need to rest and rotate. As I said, we've got that busy period of Premier League fixtures coming up, and especially against Chelsea and Spurs. Those 2 games are huge for us in terms of top 4. So, we need to look at making sure we have the best possible 11 for that game, and making sure we have the strongest 11 for that game as well, fully fit. So that's my lineup. I think Fred, Casemiro as well. I think it'd be a good opportunity to see the 2 countrymen play together in that midfield. I think Sancho, he's been off the boil a little bit. Hopefully this would be the game to help him regain some form. And also I put Rashford to start up front. Not like Cristiano Ronaldo. Or say not like, unlike Cristiano Ronaldo. And I feel like the reason I think Ten Hag is going to do this is because Ronaldo obviously broke his duck against Omnia. He had a terrible game against Omnia. What am I talking about? He had a terrible game against Omnia and broke his duck, obviously, with the winning goal against Everton. 700 for Cristiano Ronaldo. If you haven't seen my thoughts on the Everton game, please do check them out. It's a video on my channel right now, so please do check those out. But I think the reason I've gone with Rashford is because he seems to absolutely torment the Omnia defence. His pace was just too much for them to handle. So I wouldn't be surprised if Erik Ten Hag goes with Rashford from the start. Matthew's joined us. Thanks for joining, Matthew. Appreciate it. He says, bloody hell, he's gone live. I had the same reaction myself, and I was setting the stream up. Box also says, Kieran has publicly cut ties with Joel Avran in an attempt to distance himself. Yeah. Well, I felt like I did that a long time ago, but looking at some of the comments, so maybe not. Maybe I need to be more clear on that. I'm not receiving any phone calls, no emails from the Glazer family, so that's all sorted, that's all done. Owen says Ronaldo has to start to get himself more confident so he can destroy Newcastle. Yeah, I can see that point. I can definitely see that point. If he did start, you would think that if he was in the same sort of form he showed against Everton, we might see a hat-trick from Cristiano Ronaldo. And that would obviously really, put himself in good form going into the Newcastle game on the weekend. So I do see a point. Personally, I just think Ten Hag's going to go with Rashford. I think Ten Hag will look to play Rashford from the start. And I would have put Martial in this lineup as well, but I'm not sure about his fitness. Obviously, he went off against Everton about 25 minutes in, I think it was. He picked up a little bit of an injury in the warm-up as well. So I don't know. I don't know about Martial. Obviously, Ten Hag might have said in the press conference that he's looking all right, but I just wouldn't really risk it, especially not against Omnia. Box 11 is Dubravka, Williams, Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Malacia, Fred, McTominay, Sancho, Garnacho, Ronaldo, and Pellistri. Pellistri's another player that we could definitely look at playing. But a first game from Dubravka, that would be an interesting watch, to say the least. Brandon Williams, Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Malacia, Fred. You know, obviously the 11 is not exactly, you know, showbiz like we've seen in the previous 11s, but, you know, having Fred and McTominay back. But I would like to see Garnacho, actually. Garnacho's a very interesting shout box, I've got to say. I really should have thought that myself, but I would love to see Garnacho. I would love to see Garnacho. But, you know, we'll see what Erik Ten Hag does. For me, I just think he won't rotate that much. I don't think he's going to, you know, change all the players. I think he'll adopt approach of, you know, starting a strong team and then taking them off when we've done the job. Now, obviously, some people would say it's a little bit arrogant, but in the end of the day, you know, when Rashford and Martial came on, we did look a class above Omnia. And, some, you know, obviously, who knew? You know, when you spent £1 billion on a squad compared to the £1 million they spent on a squad, who knew you would be a class above? But, you know, we were a class above. And I think we do need to think about the league. We do need to think about, you know, the fixture congestion coming up, especially heading into the World Cup. We have to think about that. So, you know, for me, I would like to see as many new faces as possible. But from my point of view, analysing what Ten Hag's done in the past, I don't think we're going to see that. I think we're going to see a fairly strong lineup to begin with, and then at half time, if we are hopefully 1-2, 3-0 up, then he'll start to take players off. Box says Ten Hag should rotate a lot. Owen says Dubravka starting would be nice, maybe holding his place after. Oh, yeah, we're back now with the De Gea shouts. That didn't take long. Didn't take long, did it? Well, yeah, obviously, you know, I put David De Gea in my starting 11. I think he won't drop David De Gea, especially with the fixtures coming up. I kind of feel like Ten Hag will want to make sure De Gea's got all the match practice that he can have, because changing and chopping and changing a goalkeeper is a little bit, it can be counterproductive if it's done the wrong way, because, you know, you want a goalkeeper to be solid and settled within the team, because that's how they build a trust and a relationship with their back four. And if you keep chopping and changing, I think it's going to be difficult. But I wouldn't be surprised to see Dubravka start saying that. I wouldn't be surprised if Ten Hag did go to Dubravka. And in some ways, it'd be a nice experiment to actually see Dubravka in United shirt playing a game instead of just being on the bench. So that's my starting 11. I realised that I said that it wouldn't be too long of a stream, and obviously it's getting towards a time where the Champions League games are kicking off. Some corkers in the Champions League tonight, so I won't keep you too long. I'll give you my score prediction for the game, and then you guys can give your score predictions, and we can go through that very, very quickly. So my score prediction is United to win by 4-1. I don't think we're going to keep a clean sheet. Omnia, on the break especially, last Thursday were pretty devastating. You know, they're pretty devastating. They caused us a lot of problems. Maybe devastating was a bit of a overreaction, but they caused us a lot of problems. They did cause us a lot of problems, and you know, that's one thing we've got to be wary of. You know, obviously in this game we're going to have most of the possession. We're probably going to play quite a high line. It does leave you open. You've got to be careful. And I know, you know, on paper with the players we've got, you know, we should be winning this game quite comfortably, but you never know. You really never know in the Europa League. So I'm going to say 4-1. And I don't know who's scoring the goals because, as I said, I've got no idea who Ten Hag's going to start. I think he'll start a fairly strong 11, but for me, I'm going to go 4-1, and hopefully, if my prediction does come true, then we'll be able to rest and rotate, take some players off, and have a fully fit squad for the rest of the kind of fixture congestion Premier League fixtures we're going to face in the next 2 or 3 weeks. Box says Henderson deserves to start. Box says, are we going to discuss Omnia key players? We can do actually. And I said, whilst you're putting your predictions in, I'll get up their last lineup against us, because it was They had actually they had a player in particular. I can't remember his name. Sorry guys, I apologise. I should have done this before, really. Here we go. The goal was not so. The two lineups. Well, actually, the substitute scored, and what am I looking at here? Well, I don't know what I'm looking at. But their number 18, who got the second goal when he came on, was very, very good. I can't, especially on the counter attack. And the guy that scored, his name, I think it's Bruno, isn't it? Yeah, Bruno Felipe. He was excellent. He was absolutely excellent. I think he nearly had a chance to lob David De Gea as well at one point, and he just couldn't get his left foot on it enough, and he obviously De Gea caught it. I remember that chance, but I think their main threat is counter-attack. They've got a lot of pace on the counter-attack. That's obviously how they did us in the first half of the first game, or the game last week, and we've got to be wary of it. We've got to be wary of it. So I would say they're two forward players. They usually play, or in the last game anyway, they played a 5-3-2, and that's probably what we're going to see at Old Trafford as well. And they're going to look to counter on us. They're going to look to counter. Brandon Barker, that's it. Yeah, Brandon Barker. I recognise that name when I first saw it. Matthew says 10 goals from outside the box against Henderson this season was it. Yeah, I can see a lot of people, chewing the fat over Henderson in the comments. I'm sure that'll continue long into the night. Matthew goes 3-0 and Owen goes 5-0. So Owen, optimistic, very optimistic. Matthew, optimistic as well. And Box is the most optimistic of the lot with 7-0 Manchester United. I hope that comes true. I hope that does come to fruition. And I think we'll end it on that note. I think it's a positive note to end on. But that's it. That was it for the first stream in 3 months. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. As I said, it's just going to be a quick stream, and probably the streams I do from now on are going to be, fairly quick and fairly easy. So, as I said, if you're watching on the replay, thank you very much for watching. Really appreciate it. Make sure you hit that like button. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. I do reply to all your comments, so please do leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel as well if you are new. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys after the game. And on Rich's channel, actually, I'll be going on Rich's channel after the game. I'll be calling in, so make sure if you haven't already, check out Rich's channel, because I will be on there after the game giving my thoughts on what transpired. Hopefully a Manchester United win. But until then, thanks for watching, guys. Really appreciate everyone that turned up for my first stream in 3 months. Appreciate you all, and hopefully you have a very good evening. Cheers.